9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Markus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights, dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Blind guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Markus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Markus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry.
What's good? What's good? What's good, y'all? How we feeling? How we feeling? Y'all tuning into the Bald Eagles podcast. You know what I mean? I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II. He is Markus Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to both channels. Make sure we got our mics loud and clear. Make sure we got all our buttons safe and sound. You feel what I'm saying? Eagles fans, sit back, kick your feet up. NFL fans, we got some things to talk about, right? Hey, Markus, listen, man. Real quick before you go, I always make this mistake of muting my microphone, right? I do it all the time. Now I need you to double check yours and make sure we on the same page, because I don't know if you all the way there with me.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure, because I couldn't hear that beautiful laugh for a second.
Nah, you know what? Because mine defaults to mute when I play the intro.
Same, but does yours come off?
Turn it back on.
Oh, see, mine automatically comes off whenever the intro stops. But y'all know the vibe.
What's good though?
Y'all know the energy. Y'all know how we carry it here at the Bald Eagles podcast. Look, Howie Roseman is exactly who I know him to be.
Man,
Howie Roseman is exactly who we know him to be. Howie Roseman spoke at the owners' meetings. Nick Sirianni did as well, but Howie Roseman, the man of the hour, as he always is. Let's just jump right into it. The AJ Brown stuff came up.
obviously,
as you would expect. But he took an approach that I fully expected him to take. And that was the AJ Brown is a Philadelphia Eagle.
He's a Philadelphia Eagle till we say otherwise.
He's a member of the Philadelphia Eagle. And that's such a Howie response, because I feel like sometimes these GMs, these owners, they start tripping over their words. Like Jeffrey Lurie was tripping over his words a little bit today, but it's all good.
Yeah.
I let him slide because two-time Super Bowl champ, you know what I mean? Jeffrey Lurie saved the franchise. You know, Jeffrey Lurie, he don't really talk to the media, so I don't mind him fumbling a little bit because he don't talk. He let his guys do their jobs, unlike other organizations in Dallas. So it's one of those things where I look at Howie Roseman, and when asked or confronted about the AJ Brown stuff again, as if people are expecting a different response.
Right.
That's the part that always blows my mind, right? They really expect Howie Roseman to say something different.
Like he just gonna give up the plan. Just randomly, it's like, all right, let me tell you everything we're about to do. And that's what people are looking for. And it's like, they're not gonna tell you anything. The minute he mentions something, anything about what they're gonna do with AJ Brown, he devalues the situation, he devalues the trade. And it throws things in chaos, because you better believe that there's other teams that are trying to figure out ways to circumvent that, to kind of throw shade and throw a wrench in the system. So you keep it close to the vest. They have been masterful at saying nothing. And to your point, Jeffrey Lurie fumbled a little bit, but he doesn't really talk much. He doesn't really want to talk much. That's why they asking him so many questions, hoping he'll slip up and say something. Because he is a good one to let the GM, who he's paying a whole lot of money, let him do what he paid him to do. And for the most part, Jeffrey Lurie, but in a situation like this, you got to talk. You got to say something. So I understand you got to play the role. You know, that comes with the gig. So he talks in the circles like everybody does. Howie talks in circles. Sirianni was talking in circles, but everybody's on the same page.
Exactly.
So
Spin. Just keep delivering the spin.
If you ain't got it by now, you just not gonna get it. I don't know if AJ Brown is gonna get traded. It looks like he is, and then another day later, it looks like he won't. But at the end of the day, I want him here in Philadelphia, but I understand the nature of this business. So it is what it is. And I stand by what I said from the rip. Whatever you do, if you're gonna get rid of him, just make sure you get somebody that's gonna produce.
And you think Howie Roseman ain't gonna get his
value?
Get his value? And that's the thing about Howie Roseman, where he's somebody where when he makes a move, he's going to get value.
Absolutely.
And I put it this way: he's not going to lose. Is either going to be equivalent exchange or he going to win?
Right.
He's not going to lose the deal. Equivalent exchange or win. And the first deal that came to my mind when I thought about that is the Carson Wentz deal, because everybody at that time thought trading Carson Wentz either was a mistake.
Yeah.
And people thought the Eagles were hustling backwards because people thought they hired Nick Sirianni for Carson Wentz because of the Colts connection to Frank Reich.
Right.
And when you traded Carson Wentz after hiring Nick Sirianni, people thought, oh, whoa, the Eagles didn't expect this. The Eagles are caught with their pants down. They're trapped with a head coach they really didn't want.
Right.
They only got him for Carson. Now he's not there anymore. What are they going to do? 5 years later, 6 years later, look where we are. But nonetheless, you think about that deal and everything Howie Roseman got back for it in terms of over the course of time and how transactions occurred, right? I believe the Saints, Eagles, and Colts are the three teams involved in how things turned out for the Eagles to this point, because Howie made several transactions with those two particular teams. And bottom line is the root of the Carson Wentz trade, when you get to the ultimate result of it, Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean, AJ Brown, it stops there.
We made out like fat rats.
Devontae Smith as well, if you want to throw him in there, because he's a part of that. Yeah. He's a part of that shuffling of assets.
Right.
So the reality is Howie Roseman, he's never going to lose. It's either going to be equivalent exchange or he's going to find a way to win. So when you think about the AJ Brown stuff, AJ Brown is a member of the Philadelphia Eagles, played it right down the middle.
Straight down the middle. And at the end of the day, we done made out like fat cats. So, and what do I say every time we go into this situation? Everybody take their hands off. This is automatic steering. This is Tesla level stuff. Just take your hands off. Trust the system. You know Howie Roseman is driving. You know he's going to do his homework. He's going to go to the nth degree to get that right guy, or to trade up, trade down, whatever it is that he does. Howie Roseman has shown me since 2015. 2015 and 2016 is why we have 2017 and the Super Bowl ring. So Howie has shown me time and time again that he knows what he's doing. He is the best in the business at this. So I'm good. Exactly. Y'all want to get stressed about it? Everybody in Philly want to crash out? Everybody trying to figure out what's going on? Man, listen, I'm just going to sit back, eat my water ice, and I'm going to wait for him to do his thing.
Because even Derek Gunn, shout out to the good brother Derek Gunn. Much love to him. I got to get him on the show at some point. He's definitely showing love to Chalk It Up Sports on many occasions. So
absolutely.
I got to tap his shoulder and check on him and just check on the family and whatnot. But D Gunn, he was on The Fanatic. I think he was talking to Kincaid and Celeste Eunice. And
yeah.
Derek Gunn laid it out perfectly. And I want to make sure I quote him correctly, right? So I don't want to misspeak. I don't want to misquote him. I want to say exactly what he said. So it says here, and what I'll do is, I'll read it here. So, and by the way, Derek Gunn is also on Inside the Birds as well with Jeff Mosher and Adam Kaplan as well. So he says here, quote, The Eagles are not actively trying to move AJ Brown. As smart of a business entity as the Eagles are, you have to listen to any and every offer. Obviously, whatever offers and rumors that have been out there have not been good enough to entice the Eagles to make the move. I've known for a long time, despite some of his antics on the field and social media in recent years, AJ is well loved and well respected from top to bottom in that organization. Everybody loves him. AJ Brown loves being in Philadelphia and wants to be in Philadelphia. The Eagles don't have a problem with AJ, and I know a lot of the fan base wants to see AJ going. I don't know how much I disagree with that, but a lot means that there's a portion of them, and they exist. They exist. There is a lot of people in theory that will do want AJ going, but I digress. He also says AJ has never come out and said he doesn't want to be here. We have been saying this on the Bald Eagles podcast consistently.
From day one.
He has never officially or tangibly come out and said, I do not want to be in Philadelphia, or I want to be traded, or I'm not happy. His concerns and the points he's always made has always been on the football field in terms of the product, because he knows that they're playing below their expectation and below their potential. Not that they don't even have what it takes. There's some guys within organizations like Justin Jefferson who's walking around the building like, yo, we don't even have what it takes. That's why he's upset in Minnesota. Quarterback carousel, keep trying to figure out if JJ McCarthy's the guy. Now they got who's over there now? Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Good luck with that. So the point is, like, it's not easy to land on what you have here in Philadelphia.
No.
Let me close it out here. Kudos to AJ, and I'm going back to Derek Gunn's quote. He says, kudos to AJ for keeping quiet for the most part in this offseason. Right. Unless the Eagles find something that wows them, which I don't think they will, I still believe, this is Derek Gunn speaking, I still believe, as I've stated consistently since January, AJ will be an Eagle in 2026. And
I agree.
My position is that would be great. Also, anything can happen.
Anything.
And that's where I'm at with it, because I know that Howie Roseman is a guy that's not just going to give away a guy for nothing. And on top of that, we all know deep down, no matter how much you want to slice it and how much people want to spin it to fit their own personal narrative, no teammate has ever spoke disparagingly about AJ Brown.
Not a one.
Not a one. No one.
And there is a difference. There is a very distinct difference between the fan base being upset with a player's actions or the things that he does. There's a difference between that and someone being a disruption in the locker room. And everybody, a lot of the fandom in Philadelphia and around the country, they want to paint the narrative that AJ Brown is disruptive. And that is far from the truth. They're not looking at the situation in context. And quite honestly, everybody's getting in their feelings about he shouldn't be acting like that. He should do this. He should do that. And it's like, well, you're not him. You haven't been through the things that he's been through. You don't have his state of mind. You don't have his perspective. So, and I've said this many times, with his history, with his mental challenges, with him dealing with suicide and things of that nature, and I'm not making it up. You can go on YouTube and you can look at his thoughts on that he spoke about publicly. And all I've simply said is, when you have somebody like that, they have to deal with their stress a certain type of way that works for them, period. You don't have to go any further. As long as it works for them, then it works. And when you're talking about AJ Brown, I don't give a damn how many times he tweets. I don't give a damn what book he's reading on the sideline. As long as when he steps inside them lines on that field, he goes to work. That's all I care about.
Because the reality is,
his teammates, he ain't getting into it with his teammates. I don't know what the situation is with Jalen. They may have grown apart. That don't mean they hate each other.
Exactly.
So you still, the one beautiful thing about being in the locker room, you can be in the locker room with people you don't like, but when it's time for business, you know it's time for business, and everybody gets on the same page and facing the same direction.
And Marcus, guess what? It's not. It's like I don't want to even put the energy out there like they don't even like each other.
Correct.
Because I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either.
I actually, if there's any dynamic that I believe is occurring, I think it's more closer to, hey, with more success comes more responsibilities, and with more success, expectations change of others. And also when you do business with people, it's just like anything. It's like anything in life. You and your homies, y'all homies for life. Then when legislation start becoming involved, when business start becoming involved, and when my success hinges on your success, and so on and so forth, and when it's easy for me to point the finger at you because I'm not getting this and that you're not getting that, it's very easy for emotions to get wrapped up in the business when you're familiar with somebody. And when you're very familiar with somebody, you feel like you have a certain license to communicate with them a certain way. And also, when you're familiar with somebody, you understand the quirks of their personality, and you understand that whatever they're feeling or whatever they're expressing, it's really not malicious. It's not personal. You know the person.
Right.
I think Jalen Hurts knows the person. I think AJ Brown knows the person. And at the end of the day, everybody, you know what Devontae Smith said one day? I think he was on the Mellow podcast. No, he was on the Patrick Surtain and Tyrion Arnold podcast.
Yeah, when he was talking about the reason why he went to Alabama,
and he said not just that, but I'm glad you brought that up. The reason he went to Alabama is because he knew Jalen was there, and the reason and when he got jumped to Philly, he said, "I knew no matter what, as long as I got Jalen, I'm good." He said that.
Yep.
So then to take it a step further, they asked about AJ. They asked about Jalen Hurts' personality, and Surtain knows Jalen, the Alabama connection. And Tyrion Arnold, same thing, the Alabama connection. They know Jalen. So Surtain was like, listen, I know Jay Hurts, but from your perspective, like what you think is the most misunderstood thing about Jay Hurts, or like, what do you think it is people don't know about him, whatever it is? He said, listen, he fool with who he fool with.
Exactly.
And if he don't fool with you,
he don't fool with you.
It ain't nothing like
it ain't personal.
He don't fool with you.
Right.
And he's no nonsense. Very business. And you know how refreshing it is to have a guy like that at the quarterback position?
But a lot of people forget the most important thing. You don't hang out with your boys the way you used to after you get married,
or after y'all start getting more money or whatever it is. Like things not gonna stay the same.
No, I honestly, for me, I in my opinion, I think it's the whole situation. When you get married, your focus has to change. So no, not that Jalen Hurts was hitting the clubs anyways, but you carving more time for yourself because, and again, let's remember this dynamic when you talking about professional athletes specifically, the majority of their time is at the stadium, in the film room, at practice. So the majority of your time is with the team, not with your spouse and not with your family. So that dynamic changes things. So when I leave this locker room, we might not hang out like we used to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit different. And again, it doesn't mean you're enemies. Just because y'all not seeing us walk hand in hand down South Street, don't mean we ain't boys, don't mean we ain't friends. But everybody wants to put it there because they don't see what they want to see. Especially when you're talking about guys. We could not see each other for years and still be the best of friends because every time you see each other, it was like it was yesterday. So people want to make a big to-do about that, but I don't think I'm with you on that one. That ain't got nothing to do with it. You got family, you got business, and then you got what you're supposed to be doing. And they understand that.
Right. And guess what? Another thing I think people hang their hat on too, after they won the Super Bowl, right? Remember AJ Brown went on his run of interviews, and he was doing very specific types of content. He was doing content that was geared towards the youth, geared towards kids in the inner city, geared towards young men who battle with their emotions and channeling that and talking to people about mental health. And he went back to his old college and spoke there. Like he was very selective and very, very particular of how he spent his offseason in terms of media exposure. You know, when you win a Super Bowl, everybody want a piece of you. And he was very intentional. He spent time in Chester, which is one of the harshest cities in Pennsylvania. One of the harshest cities. I mean, Chester, the unemployment rate in Chester is ridiculous. The recidivism rate in Chester is ridiculous. And that's not me putting down Chester. I'm just talking reality.
Yeah, well, facts.
That's just facts. Chester's a rough place to grow up in Pennsylvania. Chester is a stone's throw from Philly, just how Camden is. Camden, Chester, Trenton, Philly, hard places to grow up, especially when you're a young man, especially when you're a young black man, especially when you're a young brown man, a young black woman, brown woman, so on and so forth. So he geared a lot of his content towards that. And one of the things he spoke about was his relationship with his mother. And he spoke on the idea of having friends, what a friendship is to him.
Right.
And he was very specific. He said, I don't believe I have friends. And it wasn't more so about the other person. It was more so about his expectations. And the expectations he puts into people, he recognizes can be unfair, unreasonable. So he doesn't put everybody or anybody. He said, he said, I don't have any friends. And some people took that as, wait, what about Jay Hurts? What about Devontae Smith? What about this guy, that guy?
Right.
And it's like, listen to what the man really saying. He's saying that he takes that word very seriously. He takes the responsibility to him very seriously. And he knows that to be his friend comes with great responsibility because of who he is, mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Right.
So, and again, I'm probably butchering it a bit, but his sentiment was essentially, I am a loner. I lean in on my solitude, and he knows how to go to work and handle business.
That's all you need.
Now, I'm pretty sure Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown have plenty of conversations, especially when it comes to what they got to get done. I'm sure him and Devontae Smith are cool. Like, the thing is, everybody took that personal except for the people that they thought he was talking about.
Correct.
Which is always funny to me.
Correct. Everybody trying to put their own personality and their own spin in a situation, and it don't concern them. It don't concern them. So, I mean, people need to stop doing that, but they won't. Because everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be right, or everybody wants to be first. Either or. You want to be able to tell everybody I was right and everybody was wrong, or you want to be able to tell everybody that I said this 8 months ago.
I'm glad you said that, because when it comes to the AJ Brown situation, people would much rather be wrong 100 times in a row just so they could be right that 101st time.
Yep, just once.
You get what I'm saying? Like the Diana Rossinis of the world, or the I don't know if I put Adam Schefter there because Adam Schefter was like, "Listen, I'm not hearing anything, so therefore it's nothing happening." But all those people who are pushing the narrative, right?
Yes,
they would much rather be wrong 100 times just so they can be right that one time and say, "See, I called it." No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Like, that's not calling it. Like, I would respect if you say, "Listen," and this was like your only, if this was a take somebody had and they stuck by this take and it happened like that, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. So, for example, let's say Diana Rossini said, I predict, or I'm hearing rumors AJ Brown is going to be dealt the week after, was it July 1st, June 1st, whatever it is, June 1st?
Yeah.
What if that was her sentiment from the very beginning?
Right.
And then that happened, I'd be like, oh, that's calling it. That's calling it. But when you just keep saying, yeah, I'm hearing rumblings and this person's come up with this deal, this person's come up with that deal, this person's doing this person's doing that, it's like you're kind of just remixing your opinion. Like, you're just remixing it. And then it's funny, Mike Vrabel, they asked him about it today. He said, listen, we're always going to try to look for opportunities to make our team better. Like, right. But other than that, he didn't go beyond that. And I respect his response. Because that's a very
he knows the business.
That's a very, very delicate and exact response.
I'm trying to find this. I wanted to respond to somebody said something in the chat. I posted about it. I'm trying to find it.
What you looking for?
It was my man was talking about he don't think respects Hurts as a person, but I think he respects her skill set as a QB. But I put a stat up a couple days ago, and it was how many receiving yards and touchdowns AJ Brown has had with Jalen Hurts.
You better respect him.
AJ Brown has had almost 6,000 yards and what 30? Was it 32 touchdowns?
Yeah.
The stats are ridiculous, and it makes because Atlanta Eagle, you're not the only one that thinks that. But when you take that window of time that AJ Brown has been here and you look at his stats, you can put them up with you find another receiver quarterback duo and look at their numbers. Find one of the best and look at their numbers and see how they measure up.
You better respect it. Because Atlanta Eagle, I think Marcus nailed it. I do think there's a lot of people who believe what you believe, right? Or think what you think, rather. Let's put it that way.
Right.
But the reality is the evidence doesn't hold up in court. The evidence that people bring up, the evidence holds up in court. Excuse me. The evidence holds up in court. Atlanta Eagle, bring up his following comment. Bring up the following comment that by Atlanta Eagle. He says, in the last 2 years, AJ Brown's numbers have dropped significantly. Hey, if you want to talk about numbers, let's talk about all the numbers. How many games played, how many games missed? Compare that to the previous 2 seasons. Let's really talk about it for real. Like, we can't just say things and not talk about it in the full scope. It's easy to say in 2024 and 2025 with Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown's numbers dipped. How many games did AJ play? What did he do in years past? And what was the difference in yards? And what's the difference in games played? We have to talk about the whole picture. We can't go to the museum and only talk about Mona Lisa nose. We got to talk about that smile too. We got to talk about that smile too. We can't talk about the history of this country and leave out the impact of slavery. Ooh, I don't want to make nobody uncomfortable. We got to talk about the whole history. We got to talk about the whole thing. We can't talk about make America great again, but talk about then great to what? Jim Crow? I'm making some of y'all uncomfortable. I'm sorry about that. The reality is you can't talk about one part of the story and ignore key components of it.
You got to keep it in context.
Key components. And Atlanta Eagle, with all due respect, your point still doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up. Matter of fact, because I'm a good sport, I'll entertain it. So let's look at the math. In 2022, AJ Brown played in 17 games. In 2023, AJ Brown played in 17 games. In 2024, AJ Brown played in 13 games. And in 2025, he played in 15 games. So he missed 2 games in 2025, missed 4 games in 2024. Hypothetically speaking, if we're going off of just how things have played out, of course, 2022 and 2023 were very strong years, but 2024, you had the Saquon Barkley factor, where everybody's receiving numbers went down. And in 2025, we all know how that went. And AJ still had the targets. Things just didn't go how it was supposed to go. Even through the injury, even through the rise of the running game with Saquon Barkley, even through the offensive dysfunction under Kevin Patullo, he still cracked 1,000 yards. So, and still met his quota in terms of touchdowns. So I'm not going to sit here and buy into this notion that he doesn't believe in him as a quarterback. The reality is, I don't know what he believes, and neither do you.
Well, but listen to this. Do you know since AJ Brown has joined the Eagles, he has been a top 5 wide receiver?
And since joining the Eagles, he's been a 3-time second-team All-Pro,
Who's throwing the ball to him? You got to take that in consideration, whether you like Jalen Hurts, whether you believe he's elite or not, whether you think he's a top 10 quarterback or not. That's all irrelevant. All you got to do is look at the stats. And for this argument, we ain't even got to throw in the Super Bowl stuff. The Super Bowl stuff speaks for itself. He was the best player on the field in both of them. And he outplayed the best in the business both times. But when you're talking about AJ Brown is a top 5 wide receiver with Jalen Hurts. Somebody got to be throwing him the ball. So you got to give him the credit. It's okay if you don't like him, but you can't lie on the numbers.
That's the evidence. That's not my opinion, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's not my opinion either. So I'm not going to entertain the conversation no more because we're not having it in good faith. So let's move on from that. What else came on? What else came down the wire? Eagles made a couple moves. They added a couple players on defense. They added Chandler Martin, inside linebacker, and they added edge rusher Joe Tryon. I think Joe Tryon was a former first-round pick. Let's try to look up some production here because
edge Joe Tryon, Shoyinka,
yeah,
Jonathan Jones, JT Gray, and they re-signed Fred Johnson.
Correct.
I think all that's happened since the last time we talked. And Damian Pierce.
Correct. So
I like Damian Pierce.
So what they've done is they've made a lot of bargain moves. You know, this is what happens when, like, you know what Howie Roseman does? He does his research on guys in terms of how they were scouted, how they got to the league, the athleticism, the traits, things like that, right? The overall pedigree of the player.
Right.
And then he says, maybe we can get the most out of that guy. Yeah, sure, he went here, he went there, but maybe we can get the most out of that guy. And when you have a success rate that includes a guy like Zack Baun in it or Mekhi Becton, because say what you want about Mekhi Becton in 2025 with the Chargers. In 2024 with the Eagles, they had him looking like one of the best guards in football.
He was one of the best guards in football.
And you had him for a 1-year deal. Zack Baun, 1-year deal.
Make no mistake.
When you're able to find a Reed Blankenship in a bargain basement and on draft day or in the free agent, the rookie free agent pool, when you're able to find those players to add to your roster and be productive, shoot, you can't argue with a guy for constantly taking shots on talent, guys with traits, especially when you trust your coaching on the defensive side of the ball. So that's what Howie Roseman has continued to do. He's going after guys who are young, forgotten about, have something to prove, and are just overall hungry for an opportunity. He's banking on the idea that these guys want it just as bad as he does.
Think about this, Tone. Howie, Reed Blankenship, Jalen Hunt, and possibly Darius Cooper. I believe, weren't they all undrafted? Wasn't Jalen Hunt undrafted?
No, Jalen Hunt was a 3rd-round pick, baby boy.
He was a 3rd round. I'm thinking of somebody else. I know Jalen Hunt.
Houston Christian's own, baby.
Yeah, they all went to the small schools. I know Jalen Hunt was drafted. Reed Blankenship was a UDFA, and so was Darius Cooper.
Yes.
So Howie Roseman has had a good record finding that talent, finding those diamonds in the rough, and making the most out of it. Now, there have been some misses too. There have been J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. There have been Jalen Reagor. Everybody get a turn. But for the most part, Howie finding talent, his ability to do that has been absolutely stellar. And I don't see that changing. Because right now, the reason why we're losing so many players is because we're so good.
Mm-hmm. And
we get cherry picked, coaches and players.
yes. You Vic Fangio said, I guess we're the farm system for the NFL. He said that.
Yeah.
And look, I'm sorry. If I got Zack Baun on my resume, I'm shooting at everything.
Exactly.
I'm keeping it a buck with you. If
Exactly.
I got Zack Baun on my resume and Jalen coming from a school that nobody ever heard of, and Mekhi Becton on my resume doing what he did and having the greatest rushing season in Eagles history, I'm shooting at everything. I'll put you this way. If I was outside, if I was outside, if I was Ingle ready to mingle, and I turned one. Matter of fact, you ever seen that movie? Not She's All That, but what's the movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. and he turned Shorty from a nerd into one of the hottest chicks in school?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of the movie, but I know what you're talking about.
What's that movie? I gotta say it. Freddie Prinze Jr. She's All That. Listen, if I had me a Freddie Prinze Jr. moment, and I was able to turn, I don't know, the ugly duckling into the belle of the ball, I'm shooting at everything. Anybody can get it. You feel me?
Man, Howie Roseman knows what he's doing. He manipulates the draft. He doesn't manipulate the drafts. He gets his plan. He's got a plan A through Z. He knows exactly what people are looking to do. He reads the tea leaves. He does his homework, and he is ready for any eventuality. He does that better than anybody else. And I'm saying that knowing it's not like the other teams don't do it. They just don't do it as well as we do. So I'm in one of them situations. This is the fun time for me because now I get to step back and I get to look at all of these pundits on television, ESPN, on Fox, all the content creators, all the big ones, small ones, and everybody in between, because now everybody got an opinion. And we still in the same boat because there ain't nobody doing homework.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just finding a good narrative that aligns with their perspective or their particular hot take, and they continue to run with it. And it's like, you got to do some homework.
Yeah.
You got to do some homework. I ain't even done any mock drafts yet.
Neither have I, yo. I am lacking in the draft.
And now everybody's got, we're getting to that point where now everybody's starting their mock drafts. Now that I'm seeing the shows where everybody's saying, well, they'll probably draft this guy because they have a need. Like, you don't know what our need is because don't nobody know what Howie Roseman is thinking. Are we going to draft a wide receiver? If we draft a wide receiver, so AJ Brown is gone then. So who are they drafting? And who are you drafting? Obviously in the first round was that 29th pick? Is that what we got? 29th?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been thinking about this. If the Eagles draft a wide receiver, I don't think that means he's gone.
Neither do I.
I've been thinking about this a little bit. I don't think that automatically means he's gone.
No.
Especially a young receiver that you don't have to force it to be the guy right away. And you can let him blend into the offense and be an impact player, like in that way, put him in a slot or just moving around. Like, I don't think, and look, I'm not saying you waste the first round pick on a wide receiver you're not going to give targets to. So it all depends where you draft him. But if they draft a wide receiver between day 1 and day 2, I don't think that automatically means AJ Brown is gone.
Or maybe it might take them 2 to 3 years to start playing at a first round level.
Right. You buy the stock and you invest it. You know what I mean? You buy the stock, you buy low, and he becomes what he becomes. So
is Marvin Harrison Jr. living up to his potential? Is he living up to his draft status?
And that's the thing, right? Because I don't think, it's funny you say that, because I think words matter. I don't think, to your point, Marvin Harrison was drafted what, top 10?
Yes.
Let me make sure I'm accurate because I don't want to misrepresent him. Marvin Harrison was drafted first round, 4th overall.
Ooh, top
4th
5.
overall.
Top 5 pick.
4th overall. And I do want to put into context, Kyler Murray was his quarterback for 2 seasons. So I want to put that into context. And I think Marvin Harrison is one of the best young talents in the league. I do believe that. But the reality is, when you draft the guy top 5, he's supposed to be bulletproof.
Yes.
With all due respect, I don't mean I'm just keeping it a buck. That's my perspective of a top 5.
He's supposed to be a game changer right off the bat.
He's supposed to be quarterback proof. Justin Jefferson is quarterback proof. You know what I'm saying? There's certain receivers in this league that are quarterback proof. And I'm looking at the opportunities that Marvin Harrison got. 116 targets in 2024, 62 catches, 885 yards, 8 touchdowns. The touchdowns is fine, right? And then 2025, 12 games played. He was hurt a lot in 2025. He missed 5 games, only started in 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So 73 targets, 41 catches, 608 yards. One can argue he was on pace for a better season. One may argue, but I don't know if that's a fact. Only had 4 touchdowns. So he missed 5 games nonetheless. Regardless, though, top 5 draft pick.
Right. You got to produce.
You got to produce. You
And
got to be.
It's very difficult to pluck somebody out that draft and think they're just going to land with their feet running.
Yeah.
It's
Or
very
at least
difficult to do. So with all these people thinking that we're going to draft AJ Brown's replacement, not so fast, because them some big shoes to fill.
it's not that easy for guys to just step into this league and ball. It's not easy.
No.
It's not just, he went to Ohio State, he's good. Like, it's not that easy for guys to just step in and be the guy. That's the part people got to understand. It's not just getting drafted and going first round and going to the team they need a receiver. Can you prove that you're the guy?
Can you be the guy?
And can you prove that you can be the guy when it's time to be that guy? AJ Brown has done that.
So
Now,
here's the example that I always think of.
yeah.
And you could if you in the chat, throw out some names. Who had a rookie season or had a rookie impact in the NFL like Randy Moss? Randy Moss, to me, is the standard. If you want to say you came in as a rookie and you made an impact, Randy Moss is the standard.
I may have to put you probably got to put Justin
Marshall
Jefferson.
Faulk.
You got to put Justin Jefferson in that category.
Okay, I can put Justin Jefferson in there.
Because Jettas had so Randy had the touchdowns, right? And Randy rookie year, 16 games played, 11 starts, 125 catches. I'm sorry, 125 targets, 69 catches. He did this on 69 catches. Let me remind you. 69 catches, 13 in yards, average 19 yards of reception, 17 touchdowns. That's a deep threat for your ass. That's a deep threat. So Justin Jefferson, on the other hand, 2020, his rookie year, 125 targets, 88 catches, 1,400 yards, average 15.9 yards of reception, 7 touchdowns. So in theory, I still put Randy's year over that because of the lack of opportunity in the production being exponentially more in terms of touchdowns and yards per reception.
Yep.
Listen, let me put it in perspective. Justin, in terms of catches, had 19 more catches than Randy.
Where do you think the term Moss came from? Don't get it twisted. Randy Moss was that good.
He had 19 more catches than Randy and only had, what is this, 87 more yards?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the type of impact we're talking about if you're going to replace somebody like AJ Brown. Tone, I mentioned in a tweet this week, talking about Myles Garrett and a top pick, or Myles Garrett for AJ Brown in the top pick. I was like, would you make that deal? I was like, maybe I would. And I'm looking at it from the standpoint of not that I would want to, but if I'm looking to get somebody who I knew was going to make an immediate impact, I'm looking at it strictly from that. I know that Cleveland's not going to trade Myles Garrett. And I know a lot of people wouldn't go AJ Brown and a draft pick or AJ Brown and Jalen Carter or whatever. My point is simply this. If you are going to move on from AJ Brown, you damn sure better have somebody. I don't care what position, whatever position they play in, they better be an impact player. They have to be, because you can't trade away somebody like AJ Brown for just a guy. Cannot do that.
Yeah,
that's when they pull out the pitchforks for Howie. So that I think you're 100% right. He knows what he's going to do. He's biding his time. I mean, he got till June 1st.
He ain't got to rush.
Plenty of time. Nope.
He ain't got to rush at all. He owns the keys to the Lexus. Like he
does.
He ain't got to do nothing. Like
he owns a dealership, bro.
Like you said, AJ Brown is an ego until I fucking say otherwise.
Till I say different.
Exactly, man. You know, and I think what I respect about Howie is that he's always he don't tell you one thing, and what I mean by this is like he's a pretty straight shooter from what I hear about him.
Yes.
He don't put you in a position where you're surprised by something he does as a player. It's more so from he's very like matter of fact. He's very matter of fact.
He knows his business, man. He knows his business.
And when you carry yourself a certain way, people ain't got no choice but to respect the gangster. They ain't got no point. They ain't got no choice but to respect what it is. There's some guys that mishandle the personality, mishandle the relationship because they get too buddy with a guy, or they didn't, or they don't know how to walk a guy off the ledge. You want to know when Howie Roseman give you a hug? He give you a hug when you win the Super Bowl.
and he's not afraid to get rid of somebody.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to get rid of somebody, man. I remember back in 2017 when we was down at the Art Museum, all the alumni, we was down there, and I caught Howie coming out on their way to the buses, and I reminded him. I got this on YouTube somewhere because I know I posted this. I was at Alumni Day, and I had a couple minutes with Howie. Basically, we took a picture, and he was basically saying, you know, we're going to take it all the way this year. And I remember being at the Art Museum and seeing him and reminding him, like, yo, remember when you said this in preseason? This is where it's at right here, bro. This is where it's at. He understands and knows what it means. He knows what it means to this city. But more importantly, he knows what it takes to do it again. Appreciate you, Derek.
Shout out to Derek Dixon.
He knows what it takes to do it again. And again, I'll say it like I always say it. Everybody just your hands off. Just hands off. Just let them. It's just like watching your grandmama in the kitchen cook dinner. Do not go in that kitchen bothering grandma. Leave her alone. She know what she's doing. She's been doing it long enough, and she don't need your help. Leave alone.
You nailed it. You nailed it. So when I look at Howie Roseman and look at the moves he makes in the offseason, bringing in guys like a Joe Tryon, Shoyinka, or bringing in, Chandler Martin,
right?
Elijah Moore, bringing back Fred Johnson, signing safety JT Gray, safety, bringing back safety Marcus Epps, you know, taking a shot.
I like that move too.
I do too. Marcus Epps is like a good old pair of tennis shoes. Like they, you know, they're not that impressive, but damn it, you can walk a mile in them bitches and they'll hold up.
A good old pair of tennis shoes.
and I mean this with respect. I mean this with the utmost respect. I got a pair of sneakers that I had since maybe my freshman year of college, high school. And,
that was funny.
And like they're my favorite workout sneakers, and they just last. They lasted. They stood the test. Stood the test of time. They last, and they comfy as hell.
Man,
I can trust them. They get the job done.
get the job done.
And Marcus Epps, he doesn't come back here if they saw that tape and said, yo, he was out of position a lot. Marcus Epps was solid last year for the Eagles.
Marcus Epps was a good player.
He's not a superstar by any stretch, but he's solid. And he was your starting safety when you went to the Super Bowl. So he's somebody you can trust. He's somebody that's teachable, somebody that's smart, somebody that knows how to play his role. You brought in Hollywood Brown, Damian Pierce. You brought in Tariq Woolen, right? You brought back Dallas Goedert. You restructured Michael Carter II. The Andy Dalton news is hilarious because somehow, someway, Howie Roseman finessed.
Shout out to my man Andy Dalton, man.
Yo,
y'all know I'm born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, so I got love for anybody that played for my Bengals.
How did
Big Red?
How did Howie Roseman convince Carolina to pay $5.7 million for a 7th-round pick?
I don't know. Howie been studying that military level hypnotizing or something.
I don't understand. Listen to this. The Panthers retained $2 million of quarterback Andy Dalton's salary in order to facilitate a trade to the Eagles. That means Carolina takes on a $5.7 million dead cap hit charge in 2026, while Philly now holds a fully guaranteed $1.5 million cap cash hit. The Panthers paid the Eagles.
You know what Howie Roseman is doing? I'm gonna throw an old reference out there. Only my OGs gonna know about this one. Howie Roseman is pulling the Bootsy Farnsworth on. Y'all don't know if y'all don't know who Bootsy Farnsworth is. If y'all never saw Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby and Let's Do It Again, I'm going way back, bro. I'm going in my 70s. My 70s level, man. Let's Do It Again was a movie where Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby was friends. They did like 3 or 4 movies together. But Sidney Poitier used to hypnotize people when he was in the military. So he hypnotized Bootsy Farnsworth, who was this Jimmy Walker was this scrawny boxer, hypnotized him make him think he was like a monster. And he won the fight, and it was all about them betting on the fight after they hypnotized him. That's what Howie Roseman is doing. He hypnotizing these folks. He putting the whammy on them. Let's do it again. There you go.
You took it back.
Yeah, man. I had to do, man. All my OGs understand that. Bootsy Farnsworth, 40th Street Black, Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls before the man in New York was the rapper.
Right.
I'm going way back. I went way back on you. I went way back on you, man.
I ain't mad at that. No, I never mind going back, but you hit me with one.
Bootsy Farnsworth.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
Oh my god,
that is hilarious, man. But yeah, Howie Roseman is just like, listen, all these guys.
Kansas
by the
City
way,
Mac.
all these guys are not going to be on this roster. Let's make that clear. They're not going to be on this roster.
They're not.
But what he's doing is he's taking a shot on a bunch of guys who are, and these are young guys we're talking about. I mean, Chandler Martin is 23 years old. Joe Tryon is 26 years old. Elijah Moore, 25 years old. Fred Johnson, we know who he is. He's 28. He's a vet at this point, but reliable at the tackle position. JT Gray is a vet, 30-year-old safety, been in this league for a long time. Marcus Epps, veteran safety. Stone Smart, 27-year-old tight end. Damian Pierce, 26 years old. Andy Dalton, OG. Arnold Ebiketie, 27 years old. Dallas Goedert, 31 years old, but he has the pedigree with the Eagles. Michael Carter II, they restructured him, 27 years old. Right? Rick Woolen, what is that? 26 years old. They brought in a lot of guys who are in that 24 to 26, 24 to 27 age range who are trying to elevate their profile so they could potentially get paid. All these guys are highly motivated. They brought in guys who are highly motivated. And you're an organization that has cultivated an infrastructure and environment built on winning. And it makes it easy for guys to come in here and do the job. And on top of that, when the Eagles have an amazing track record of getting guys paid, and all these guys are in their physical primes too. Physical primes.
Rick Woolen will be 28 by the time the season starts. I'm sorry, 27.
27, yeah. 27. But all these guys should be in their physical, or at least their man body, their grown man physical primes in terms of the NFL.
Yeah.
Now injuries count into that, but the reality is a guy like Joe Tryon, okay, former first round pick, 32nd overall, right? Things didn't necessarily pan out so far for his career. His rookie year, he had 4 sacks in Tampa. In 2022, had 4 sacks. 2023, 5 sacks. And in 2024, 2 sacks. 2025, no sacks. So throughout his career, he's kind of showing you that at best right now, he's a rotational edge rusher with the 4 to 5 sacks a season. And I look at it like this also. 6'5", 259.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
The physical profile at 26 years old, the physical profile coupled with what Vic Fangio is capable of doing with these
Where's
guys.
he coming from?
The college or the score or the team? You talking about the college?
Team.
He was in Tampa, and then he got traded. He was in Tampa for 4 seasons. Then he got picked up by Chicago, and then he got picked up by Cleveland. So he spent 8 games in Chicago, 8 games in Cleveland in 2025.
Because when you're looking at his position and you're looking at the stats and the sacks, my question is always, who is he playing with?
But he was playing from 2021 to 2024. I mean, that's the year after they won that Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So he was playing with Devin White. He was playing with what's my man? Shit. Levante David. He was playing with Jason Pierre-Paul, right? Wasn't Pierre-Paul on that roster too as well? Because he was on their Super Bowl roster, Pierre-Paul.
He may have been. I forget.
But regardless, though, they drafted him first round, 32nd overall, borderline second round pick out of Washington University. Look, I like the measurables. 6'5", 259. He looks the part. He looks the part.
He is a big
Shaq Barrett, good call, 803 hitman. It was some talent on that team. In 2020 when they won the Super Bowl, right? That was 2020. I don't want to misspeak.
Right.
I think that was that year. Regardless, though, Howie Roseman he's done some things. He's done some things for him to earn a benefit of the doubt from me.
Absolutely, man. You know how I feel about him. Let him work. Let him cook. Let him cook. All you got to do is sit at the table, man. You ain't trying to. I don't need you to go in the kitchen to fix anything. We don't need to add no salt and pepper. You don't need to wash no dishes. Everything's taken care of. The only thing you got to do is sit down at the table and enjoy it. That's it. That's it.
Straight like that. Straight like that.
So,
but other than that, man, that's all I have. Anything you got?
That's it.
That's it.
We are on this train, man. It'll be here before you know it, bro.
For sure. So again, Howie Roseman has continued to just add a piece there, add depth there, reinforce the roster there. We haven't even got to the draft yet. Trust me. All the moves, these just draft proof your roster. That's all he's doing. He's just fortifying the roster so he can make the moves he wants to make on draft day.
Correct.
And I'm not mad at that. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Pro Fan Talk. Make sure you are subscribed to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Really do appreciate the love and the support. Make sure you guys stay active. He's Markus Thomas. I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II. You've been tuned into the Bald Eagles podcast.
Yes, sir.
And straight like that, we're out of here, y'all.
Go Birds.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Markus got the scoop ready to ignite, from the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights. That Flashing like a running back, hitting every play. Blind guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Told him Marcus always standing by. Bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Told him Marcus always standing by. Bringing their heat, call it do or die.